Lindsey Graham's death has opened a Senate seat in South Carolina, but it's also opened this much bigger question for the Republican Party, I think. One that says something like, does it still need politicians like Lindsey Graham was? Governor Henry McMaster, that's his real name, as a Trump ally, of course, who is term limited as well, can appoint someone to finish Lindsey Graham's current term. Graham had already won the Republican nomination for the next one, so the party now has to hold a special primary to replace him on the November ballot. Filing opens, I think, July 21st, and the primary is August 11th, if you want to throw your hat into the ring. Trump has already said he has someone in mind. He is a stable genius, and that mind is very well functioning. So, he declined to name who that person was because, in his words, it was too soon. Now that choice will tell us something important about what kind of Republican Party now exists. Lindsey Graham came out of the older GOP. He was a foreign policy hawk, a Senate institutionalist, and at times, at least, a bipartisan deal maker. Can you imagine? And then he became one of Trump's most visible converts, if you will. And that conversion made him mighty useful to dear leader. Lindsey Graham understood the committees, the donors, the foreign policy establishment of the pre-Trump party. And he knew how to translate Trump's instincts into the language of the Senate, for better or worse. He connected the Republican Party that existed before Trump with the one that Trump was building. The Republicans competing to replace him will broadly come from two different traditions, probably. One will resemble Lindsey Graham, a politician with a pre-Trump identity, an attachment to alliances and Senate procedure, and enough personal loyalty to Trump to survive inside the current party. The other, there is one, will have been formed entirely within MAGA, with no earlier political identity to reconcile and much less attachment to what the Senate used to be. The party might no longer need the first kind at all. Lindsey Graham's generation didn't create Trumpism per se. It legitimized it, sanitized it, that's for sure. It staffed it and connected it to institutions that were already there. Those politicians served as translators between the old Republican establishment and the new movement that was taking it over. I think that's actually a really good idea, a way to think of those people who have sort of smuggled him in and sanitized him, that they were translators. That is overly euphemistic, but it is another good way to think about it alongside the smuggling and the sanitizing and that sort of language. But MAGA now has its own candidates. We know that for sure. They certainly have their own donors, their own media system, and governing class altogether. So it no longer has to rely on converts from the old establishment when it can produce leaders who never belonged to anything else at all. And that's what this contest will sort of quickly and most measure. Trump's held together a coalition full of people who disagree with one another. You have isolationists and interventionists and institutional conservatives and anti-institutional populists and business Republicans and economic nationalists. Lindsey Graham could operate across those divisions because loyalty to Trump became the thing holding all of them together. His replacement, I think, will help answer whether that coalition can reproduce itself without politicians whose personal relationship with Trump papered over the disagreements that were very visible and very public beforehand. Whoever wins the seat will inherit his office. They probably won't inherit his full role, though. I'm reluctant to say this word, but hopefully you'll understand what I mean. But Lindsey Graham mattered because he helped move the Republican Party from one political era into another. That's not a compliment, by the way. South Carolina's choice might show us that the transition is over and that the party no longer believes it needs people who can bridge those two things. I think that is quite likely as we look for the aging out boomers and what's going to replace them. And on the GOP side, it does look like it's going to continue down this path of more and more MAGA folks who have no previous attachment or desired attachment to the GOP of days gone by, the bipartisan era, and any of that stuff. So, we'll see what this all brings about, but the story, to some degree, is far from over, and this will be quite an interesting transition point to see how this is handled, because this is what we will see post McConnell, post Chuck Grassley, all of these like exceedingly old people who just, I don't mean to be crude here, but they will just get timed out. At some point, there will have to be a replacement. There will be no alternative. So, if the government doesn't dissolve by then, I suppose. But I'll see you soon.